when the specialist of the strange meets the age of darkness. Eyes of the skies will sail upon the glitter of that sky. And ponder the insanity that comes from their adventure. Welcome to the Bald and Bonkers.
You know, I can never get over that advert that you've done. I think it's awfully good, Dakota.
Well, yeah, no. It's going to be tough to beat for the new year.
Yeah, I know, but you said you were working on a new one, didn't you? You said you were like doing a new one for maybe next year, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, somebody requested one for a new little segment he's wanting to go. He still hasn't answered me.
But anyway, I know. But anyway, guys, I'd like to welcome you tonight to the show. Tonight we're going to be talking about what we're talking about tonight.
Yes, because it is the spirit of the holidays. You know, everybody's got a little secret that they're keeping about the gifts that they're buying for the relatives that they really don't care anything about. Does it?
That's terrible saying that. That's terrible. You think about your poor old great granny that's out there's 110. That's the thing about Christmas. What do you buy women at Christmas? Because I have that problem because I've got a niece, right? And what do you buy women? Men are easy. You can buy them a pair of socks, or, a random thing, right? What do you buy women?
Does she have a particular band she likes that you know of?
But nobody buys DVDs anymore, man.
DVDs are just saying, like, I don't know, concert tickets, or if you really have no clue, that's what the purpose of gift cards are for.
That's very true. That's what I'll do. Shall we see who's in the chat tonight, guys? Oh, look, Dobby's Sock in the chat. Drew's Paranormal Vlog. She's there. I would like to say to everybody today, please share this video out and please give us a thumbs up because it helps. Eventually, if we can make enough money, Dakota's getting a hair transplant.
Did you realize they pull hair from the ass for that, right?
You'll be lovely. You get a wee comb. You could comb it about, you know. Would you be one of the people if you'd right? You ever seen the people? I'm not. Is this no against anybody that listens or watches this, by the way? But you ever seen the people that have only got one bit of hair at one side of the head, and you've had the comb it over the way, or if it's this way, this way?
Yeah, no. I noticed Elon Musk is starting to don that haircut lately.
Is he?
Yeah.
I was actually watching a program about him the other night there, and he was talking about this new robot that he's building. You seen that?
Oh my god! Do you see that he's also getting ready to put out a smartphone?
He's bringing out his own smartphone.
Yeah, so you even link up to Starlink.
There you go.
So
I don't trust that Starlink. I think it's something else. Oh, look who's in the chat. Paranormal World Investigators.
Ah, shit. Who let her in?
I can. Who let you in, Paranormal? But anyway, guys, we are going to talk tonight about... Got my Pepsi. I can't do a live without a can of Pepsi. And if a Pepsi company's watching, you can endorse the show. But I wish you would. You know, a couple of $1 million. But anyway. So, would you like to start it off, Dakota, and talk about some strange secrets? Not really secrets when you think about it, because you actually care about it, so it's... There you go. Scottish Outlook.
I received my first threat on the show.
Really, Dakota? Once your ass... That's terrible. Speaking Dakota that way, that's terrible, you know, terrible. She's going to get you. She's going to get you.
Wouldn't be the first time in my life I pissed off a woman.
Well, Then you go, well, it's the worst thing you could possibly do is pissing off a woman.
Yet it's so damn easy.
I know. Everybody, I like all women. He's a bad man. Bad. Right, when you go to court, start the show and start telling us about strange
That's bad, man.
conspiracies.
Yeah,
Well,
we better go on with tonight's topic, otherwise this is going to get a real raunchy. So,
when you go then, I'm waiting. A can of Pepsi here. I'm waiting to hear about the
so
first. Right, when you go.
I got to thinking with recent events that we have all these people trying to claim government secrecy, all secret spy projects, black government projects,
Nice.
biological warfare,
Mm-hmm.
private industry, military contractors, things like that. And quite frankly, half the time, I don't even think a lot of these people realize how that shit actually works.
Oh God, could you imagine the deep, dark places where all this stuff actually comes from?
Oh
Where
God.
they get the money from? A lot of people don't realise it, but see the CIA. I'm going to bring up the CIA here. The CIA actually gets their money for a lot of illegal operations. They don't realise that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that the CIA has actually been busted, I believe back in the 70s or 80s,
Yeah,
for funding Colombian drug cartels.
that's what I was going to say. That's what I was
Yeah.
going to say because they've actually been. They actually helped the drugs import in the mid 70s and 80s into the US. They actually helped. There's a film. What's that film with the pilot? What's his name? What's that American actor? Tom Cruise. He plays this pilot, and he was a famous drug. He brought smuggled drugs into the United States. Well, that was the CIA. It's a true story, and they actually paid people to bring in heroin to the United States.
Yep.
Just to find. I think it's shocking,
Well,
Hey, Jacqueline.
it certainly makes you wonder, especially with CIA, because there was, in fact, President Kennedy was looking
yeah.
to call them out, and look what happened to him.
Yeah, look at. But see, that's the thing about President Kennedy, right? People say, was it because of the Cuban crisis? Was it because of the UFO stuff? Or was it... Now, here's a scenario, right? The Bell Helicopter Company.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
They start a Vietnam War, right? That company made billions.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know after the war, they shoved nearly all the choppers off the end of the ship into the sea?
Mm-hmm.
It's madness. And it's
Not too
madness.
long ago,
It's... You go?
we had Sheriff Buford and Drew on. You made a very good comment, and it's something that has not changed throughout history, is that the military does not clean up.
No.
Look at what happened in Afghanistan.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
That's the most
You look-
recent example.
I mean, who in the... It's like, I'm going to mention this guy's name. Trump was actually talking about this, right? I mean, when you leave a country, right, you're usually meant to take all your equipment with you, right?
Yeah,
They left jets worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They left helicopters worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They left Humvees. They left tanks. They had everything.
Oh, that reminds me. Someone pointed this out to me. Speaking of Tom Cruise, there was a film. I can't remember what his name was, but he was playing the president, if I'm not mistaken.
President?
And a line in the clip, in the movie, says that, "Oh, what are we going to do? Arm up the Taliban? Leave a bunch of equipment for the Taliban?" Almost exactly what ended up happening. And what a lot of people don't realize is that throughout history, the military has left several millions of dollars worth of.
Strange noises. That's CIA's listening to them.
Oh yeah. What was I saying? Okay. A lot of several millions of dollars worth of weapons, gear, everything you can imagine just gets left behind in a war zone. And a lot of arms trading through the dark web gets a hold of this stuff because they realize to the to militaries of the world, it is several times cheaper just to have some of these companies build new guns than to clean everything up.
Yeah, let's look at let's look at terrorism in these days and ages, right? The Americans and the British have been known to deliberately supply weapons to the enemy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's no for a profit, guys. It shows they can turn the tide somewhere. Let's look at Afghanistan, 1980, right? Who was helping the Taliban, right, fight the Russians? America was.
Mm-hmm.
They were supplying them, they were training them, and look how it turned on them. It just went totally south in the early 1990s, 2000s. You all know what happened in America and stuff. It's madness, and they're still doing it today. See all the things that's happening around the world today? It's all by plan.
And a lot of people don't actually realize is that the CIA actually takes into consideration how likely their plans are going to blow up in their face.
Oh yeah.
There's literally a term. Anytime you hear the term blowback,
Yeah.
that's what they're talking about. And the chance for like situations in the Middle East, blowback very high.
Yeah. But it's like, let's take some secrets, right? I mean, let's look at the United States. Look at all the secret. Why don't you bring up some of the secret stuff you were talking about actually before we come on?
Ooh.
Oh, come on, one of them.
Well, the reason why we want to bring this up for content, yes, we do try to reserve this is mostly for UFO talk because
yeah,
what we're essentially saying is that yes, there is truth to a lot of the conspiracies about the government trying to hide shit. But
yes,
how do you exactly hide the fact things are coming out of the sky?
it's right. Let's look at it in this day and age, right? Everybody's got a smartphone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody nowadays has got connection to the internet 24/7. It's not like it used to be in the 80s when I was young, right? And they're showing my age there. In the 90s and stuff, it's no like that anymore. Now you got to remember, I would say 98% of the UFOs you see today are military. Are made on Earth. They're made here. They're made. They're made by us. We do have the technology, ladies and gentlemen. We do have the technology. We have it all stored away. We've got all secret plans that were Nikola Tesla's. All his plans were took by the FBI, may I add. Were all took. They're locked away somewhere secret. We've got technology, guys, that could read a postage stamp in a football field from space.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Can you imagine, right? Say you're sitting there, you're watching this right now on your iPhone 13, right? See that you in your hand, you'll be saying, "Oh my God, this is amazing! This piece of technology, right?" But see the military, see their technology will be 20 to 30 years in front of that phone. That's
Easily.
how. Yeah, I mean, you could easily say 40, 50 years in front of that phone.
Mm-hmm.
You think about the black budget. You think about what's really hidden, right now. Let's take the triangular UFOs, the black ones. Was it the TBR3?
The TRS-8, if I remember correctly.
Right. Let's take about them, right? They are highly advanced, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I bet they've got stuff that's even more advanced than them. And people don't realise that the technology you've got now is like totally obsolete to them.
Mm-hmm.
The computer companies are getting hand-me-downs for the government.
Mm-hmm.
What's that in the chat? There's photos of Senator Kane with the Taliban and guns. Well, there is.
With Osama bin Laden himself.
Yeah. There's what's that? Guys, so I will hopefully catch you later. Catch you later. Claire James, hey, and Paranormal World Investigator. It's true. So tell us, what's the best, would you say, secret would you know of? What would you say it was? that you've managed to dig up and research?
It wouldn't exactly be a very good secret if I was able to
I
find
know
it.
it wouldn't be a secret, but what would you say was the best one that know of that people don't actually know that what about?
There's so fucking much out there.
Yeah.
I mean, let's take a recent controversy
Right?
that
Go for it.
during the Trump administration
Yeah.
when Trump was talking of banning TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
right.
everybody fucking freaked out. Everybody
Yeah.
freaked out. He was talking about how the Chinese are using it to spy on its users, their facial recognition with all these filters.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Conveniently, after Trump is out of office, TikTok updates its terms of services where it admits that it's been capturing biometric data.
Yeah.
All these filters, if you look at some of the alleged, I'm saying alleged here, Illuminati documents that have been put out, where it seemed like they were trying to take a more open approach to blend more into society, so they're a bit more open. They fully admit that they realize if you give people fancy enough technology, fancy enough toys, they will
Oh
give
yeah.
you everything on them.
Yeah.
Police dispatching centers. I'm going to give away a little bit of a secret. If you do not keep an eye on your Facebook security settings, because as we all know, Facebook does their updates. And oh, by the way, apparently they're getting sued because of the use of Meta because someone already had it. Just a little tidbit there. What they don't realize is that because Facebook updates their security settings and accidentally resets everybody's settings and their profiles, if for some reason the police got to come looking for you, the dispatchers that they deal with on the other end of the phone call will try to find your Facebook and get everything they can.
Yeah.
It happens all the time, especially when it comes to missing kids.
This is what people don't realise, right? Let's take a smartphone, any iPhone, Samsung, anything, right? You set that phone down, right? Say you don't use it all day. I've done this experiment and it works, right? I sat my phone down and I just spoke out loud. Just said, "Oh, Ken, I need a lawnmower. I really need a lawnmower." And you just keep saying that, right? You do it yourselves, guys, because trust me, this works. Mm-hmm. You can say it with anything, right? Oh, I need to get a lawnmower. My lawnmower's broken. I need to get a new lawnmower, right? I can guarantee you. See, when you go to search for something on your phone, you'll get an advert for a lawnmower. That just shows you that's listening to you. And they say they say secrecy and all that. They say that, oh, we're no listening to your conversations. I was having a conversation one day with a guy about car tyres, right? And because he was looking at my tyres and I was like, and he says, you need a new set of tyres. I get in my car, I turned my phone on, right, to use the sat nav. I turned it on, and what was the first advert that I got? Car tyres. It's listening, the record. You can actually get into your phone and disable it. There is ways of getting into your phone and disabling it. But it is shocking. You think about that Alexa that you've got behind you, Dakota. Is it Alexa you've got? Aye. I was trying to say that to see if I would set it off there.
I don't have it as my wake word, but...
Oh, do you know? Yeah. And I've got Siri on my phone, right? I didn't want to say it too loud there, because you think about it now. Google, Siri, Alexa, and all these other ones that are coming out are listening to you. You think about the cars you get nowadays, the top of the range cars like Tesla, for instance, or BMW or Mercedes, with artificial intelligence built into them. It's listening to your conversation. So when's it going to come the time when it accidentally, say for instance you're playing a computer game with your friend, Call of Duty, right? But you're no at your computer and you're talking about guns and you're talking about explosives and you're talking about fighting and stuff like that. When is that going to register something? Get what I mean? They might get a visit for the local constabulary. You know what I'm
it's
trying to say?
already happened.
Yeah.
There's people that have had visits from the FBI.
Yeah.
because somehow there was a conversation taking place where the words, "Oh, I could just kill the president." I am just using this as an example. I
Yeah.
don't mean this literally, NSA. I'm not taking any risk here, man. I'm a big guy. I'm an easy target. If you can't see me, you need new glasses. Anyway,
Yeah.
they've had anonymous visits because they start talking smack about the president from the FBI on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
It's already happening. I mean, some people know that go into business investments, stocks and things like that. Some of those companies I wouldn't have known about had it not been for Facebook listening in on me.
Amazon does it.
We admit that.
Amazon does it. They're notorious for it.
Oh yeah, Amazon especially,
Mhm.
and it all does get sold off.
Yeah.
And there have been police departments. Now there's one famous example. I believe it was out of Washington State, if I remember correctly, where police departments were trying to get a hold of Amazon because it was a really violent murder, and they know how
Mm-hmm.
those devices work. They're always
Yeah.
listening. They were trying to get Amazon to open that device's chat logs to see if it caught anything about the murder.
I see. It just shows you. I mean, society nowadays. I mean, people laugh. This is a UFO show, and we're talking about this, but this is what the future holds for man. This is what's going to happen, guys. George Orwell, 1984. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. Right? I'm just going to throw that out there right now. It's coming to the point where you'll need a passport to go to a shop.
Mm-hmm.
A certain type of passport to go to a shop. Where's it going to end? You know, it's getting to the point where if you don't have that, if you don't have a smartphone and you can't prove you know what this thing, you cannot get into that shop, pub, cafe, restaurant, theatre, football match, or you might even not be able to buy for pet fuel either for your vehicle. When's it going to end? I mean, I seen a vehicle today, and I was sitting looking at it, and I was like, "My God, that's amazing!" It was the new Tesla. Is it the Model 3 they call it? And this thing is all digital. But it hears you. It's got an artificial intelligence built into it. And this is what a lot of people don't realise now today: is see your washing machine in your house. Some of them have got GPS chips in them, and some people will say, "But why do you need a GPS chip in a washing machine?" Well, it's so as they can listen to you. It connects to your Wi-Fi, right? And they know everything about you. Let's take Samsung, right? Say their washing machine is connected to your Wi-Fi on your smartphone. Oh, it comes up. Oh, your washing's done, right? But they know everything about you because you've got access to your internet. They know everything.
This actually reminds me of a film, and people don't realize just how accurate it is. It's I can't remember what it's called, but it had oh, what was the James Bond actor last name Bronson?
Who? What
No,
movie? I
I
can't know who
can't
you're talking
remember.
about. I think. Aye, when you go.
Anyway, basically, I haven't seen the films, but it's about this CEO of this huge tech firm. He has all the latest gadgets in his house: smart TVs, smart thermostats, artificial intelligence, where he can with voice control to
Yeah.
control everything in his house. Someone who works for his company got a little bit too obsessive over his very pretty daughter,
Yeah.
and he was able to hack into every bit of his house
Yeah.
because it was that leaked up. People
Well,
don't
look.
realize that stuff exists. Yeah, FBI, if
Yeah.
you they actually offer up jobs to hackers.
Yeah.
In It's like if they take the job, they don't go to jail because they want that power.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there's some of them that use it for there are good intentions out there, because there are some very dangerous cyber criminals out there.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they can do things. Oh my god,
yeah,
they can do things that are completely unimaginable.
yeah. But that's where getting into conspiracies, guys. Because you think about this. See, you're one of these best hackers, ultimate hackers, right? You could hack into a country's power grid and turn the power off,
Hmm.
cause havoc. That country would ensue into chaos. Can you imagine what's going to happen? Your kids can't use the internet and get onto their Facebook.
Oh my god.
But think about it. Think about it. Everything now is run by the internet, right? I mean, my day used to get the doctors would put your name in the book, or they would take a book out and they would look out the name and write it down. It's all digital.
Mm-hmm.
And the way self-driving cars, think about this, self-driving cars, say another, 10, 20 years from now, say everything's self-driving cars, self-flying aircraft, all that hacker needs to do is get in there and push a couple of buttons and oops, well that 747 just flew straight into that building. Oops, that car's just caused a massive pile up.
I know there's this Amazon series that's out, stars Robbie Amell, where they have figured out a form of digital afterlife where they can upload their conscious
That's
into what Facebook is trying to build with Meta.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the series, the main character is killed off in a self-driving car that was hacked because he was getting ready to put together some sort of technology to threaten $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
It has been seen several times that any true innovation that would rewrite the structure of how we do things gets suppressed almost immediately.
Look, yeah, it's like the guy that made the levitation vehicle. Remember, and it was the mid 80s, 90s with the Mercury and the spinning. What was it? What was his name? It was like a copper sphere, and it spun the
I
Mercury.
think that was actually one of Tesla's deals too.
It was this guy had, I think, copied the idea, and it spun the Mercury a certain way, and the thing hovered. That guy disappeared, never to be seen again. Along with his work. Biff.
But Tesla, he didn't care that people took his ideas. He was that type of guy. Elon Musk, all the information about how to make Tesla cars is out there for anybody to grab, because Elon's logic, and as well as Nikola Tesla's, is like, if they can improve on it, awesome. But Tesla's major thing was that it didn't bother him that they took his information. It bothered him that they didn't bother to try to come up with their own improvement.
It just makes you wonder everything that's disappeared. Or throughout time. I mean, the guy that invented the car that ran on water, he just disappeared too.
No, he didn't just disappear. He flat out ran out into the middle of the street screaming, "I've been poisoned," and dropped dead.
Yeah.
That's not disappearing. Everybody knows what happened.
Look,
he clearly knew somebody was after him.
That technology he invented, and the other guy with the hovering device, that technology will be locked away in a secret room somewhere right now. Right? And if you work for the Pentagon, whoever's watching this, or you work for some government agency, just think, in that vault, there's documents that might be sitting. See, I think we could be further ahead, because they were talking about, let's talk about the aliens, right? The aliens, see if President Kennedy hadn't been assassinated, and he'd come out with that speech, they're here to help us, and everything like that. I think we'd be at least 50, 60 years in front of where we are right now.
Minimum.
Yeah. It would. We would be sitting. There'd be no more petrol cars. In fact, you wouldn't even need wind turbines, because they would have fusion power generators. And that's what people don't realise. Fusion power generator, guys. One power station, right, with fusion power could power an entire country.
Oh, it's more so than that. To its fullest potential, you could practically power the entire planet off the planet's resources itself. Be
Yeah.
a futuristic civilization, absolutely no pollution. And I just thought of some. There was another thing I saw in a similar military. That's where I found the information on the TRS-8s,
Hmm.
where, and obviously this is something I could probably use. Spray on Wi-Fi antennas. It's a type of spray.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a little aerosol spray. You spray it on, and it boosts wireless signals.
Seriously?
I'm serious.
How do you boost a wireless signal using an aerosol can?
There's
This,
in the spray itself. There's micro antennas,
uh,
and they would have to be small if they were working like an aerosol can.
I mean, talking about that kind of technology, I'm one for watching the latest military technology, right? Do you know that the US military have got a way of crippling an enemy? Wait till you hear this. They drop this bomb, right? But it's not what you think. It explodes above a city, right? It just explodes, right? Doesn't kill anybody. Will not kill anyone. Will not hurt anybody. It just explodes, right? And what happens is it's got these wee particles inside it that sticks to everything electrical, right?
You're talking about
And
EMP?
it's like an EMP, but it's less harmful because after a week you can use stuff. Right, so what happens is it turns into this fine particles, it's like nano dust it's called, and it sticks to the power lines, right? Power will no flow through it, it grounds it. It totally destroys the infrastructure, right? And then all they need to do is wait a week for that the rain and the wind to blow it off, and the power comes back on. You know? Which is interesting. I watched it and it was a thing on the History Channel actually. It was new military weapons, and it was
Oh yeah, I like that show.
yeah,
It's interesting.
but it's scary. It makes you wonder what they've got locked away in deep vaults.
And here's the thing. There's a lot of people who attribute current situation in the world right now, I'm going to put it like that, to biological engineering. It has been well known that several countries
Yes.
have been trying to experiment with genetics, biological warfare, things like that. Because, in fact, they just not too long ago, just thought of this, they've come out and said that scientists have now spotted the Chinese perfecting weather changing technology.
We're talking
I'm
about
just
HARP
like,
here.
I'm just thinking, no, they utilize certain chemicals and as well as similar technologies to HARP. The 2008 Beijing Olympics, there was talk of that floating around to make sure that the weather was always nice during the Olympic Games. Just think about it. 2008 Games, about 13 years ago. Now they're coming out and saying that, oh yeah, we saw it. We've known about it for some time now. There's so much they know that people are just ignoring. And going back to that one weapon you were talking about where it short circuits all the electrical infrastructure. Think about how some teenagers are these days.
Yeah.
What happens when you take away their phone? They turn into
Oh my god.
drug addicts.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one video I've seen where a mother had a little baby in the arm, had a teenager playing on his phone. All of a sudden, some guy runs up to the mother, snatches the baby, knocks the mother to the ground. Teenage boy looks like he wasn't very big, but he looked like he could put up a fight if needed.
Yeah.
His mom's trying to, zap him on the shoulder, say, hey, I need your help, I need your help. Kid just pushes her aside while the baby's being taken from her arms.
Yeah.
I mean, my own cousin didn't care that our grandmother was having a heart attack. She was more fucking concerned, and yes, I'm saying it on the air. She was more concerned about the Wi-Fi not working.
Yeah.
That's how fucking greedy, and we're it is becoming so much goddamn
But
worse.
that's the society we live in today. The society we live in today, the younger generation, I just don't know what's happened to them. I honestly don't know what's happened to them. Because some of them are alright. Some of the younger generation I know have got great jobs now. Are like engineers, they're pilots, they're mechanics. And a lot of them are into that kind of stuff, right? But then there's ones that I thought had potential. There was ones that went to university and they've just turned out to be total rejects. And you wonder, how is this possible? Okay, I mean, and I do think the internet has a part to play. I think the internet has destroyed the way of life. It's been good for some things, but it has destroyed the way of life. You know, I was at a restaurant one day, right? And this is what I seen, guys, right? Full family at a table. There was 4 kids, mother and father, and they were all like this.
Mm-hmm.
And the phone in front, the wife's phone would go beep beep. She'd pick it up, and then his would go beep beep. She was asking him what she wanted for his lunch at the restaurant. Could she not just put the phone and go do what you want? I mean, it's ridiculous.
I've fucking seen that, and granted, there's been times where
Thanks,
I've
man.
messaged people because I know they're working on something, and I can't really God's a little too much to me, so I'll send them a quick text if I'm needing anything. But it's getting to the point, and like you said, there's a lot of these kids out there who are taking full advantage of the fact that they have opportunities like no other generation has had before, and becoming absolutely amazing at what they decide to do in life. And full on credit to them. I mean, the cell phones we have in our hands, even if you have some of the oldest smartphones that somehow are still running, have more computer power in them than it took to land a man on the moon.
Yeah.
Why don't we do more to try to take full advantage of that?
The best one I've ever seen come into this was amazing. I seen it and I thought to myself, how is that possible? It was at somebody's house, right? And the woman had an iPad and she's like, oh, I can't get this to work. There's something wrong here. There was something wrong with the touch settings and something like that. There was something wrong with it. There was a 4-year-old sitting. Mummy, give it to me. Taking it. Went into the settings, fixed it on, then handed it back to her.
Yeah, I've seen some of those kids.
Like,
you little shit.
But that just shows you how alert. It shows you how technology is working with kids and stuff. But then, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing?
There's this old story when it comes to Mac computers. You just made me think of this, where they first invented a mouse. And obviously this is something that not a lot of people my age, I'm only 25, despite what a lot of people seem to think. A lot of people my age would know, but there was a time where computers all had to be run off of keyboard commands. That's where that comes from.
I know.
So true. Apple, I'm just explaining for younger members of the audience.
Yeah.
So Apple comes out and invents the mouse. Mm-hmm. They go to show it to all the older people. They had no clue how to run it. They give it to, I believe it was like a 7-year-old kid. They figured it out on the spot.
Yeah.
And yet, technology is evolving with each generation. But it's also getting kind of scary when you think about it.
I gave a show to a computer one day, an older person. And you won't believe what they did. When I says, yeah, you used the mouse. You won't believe what they did. They picked it up and went, hello! Hello! And I'm like, you don't do that. It's a mouse, you move it about. Hello, it's empty there! I says, look, it's the internet. It's like, hello! It's got a wire. They thought it was like a phone or something. And I'm like,
yeah, no, this is something really like a little ham radio. I was like, oh my god. Kind of reminds me of the days I was trying to teach my grandfather how to use a Nintendo Wii that they got him. It was like, oh, fucking
I would say,
fucking work!
But see, this is the thing. I would say the greatest conspiracy of all time is the internet. Think about it. Because it controls everything now.
There's this quote that I remember. I can't remember who said it, but they say that the internet is mankind's greatest test of anarchy. It is the one thing we have invented that we still do not know the full potential of. And there's this Netflix series who do a lot of different what if scenarios, and say like Elon Musk's Neuralink.
Yeah,
There was
I
this
seen
one
that.
particular episode where a guy meets this girl. Now all of a sudden she ghosts him. She's able to block him. The
Hmm.
technology was that where she was able to block his image out of her brain. Anytime he saw something that was him, all
Hmm.
she see was what looked like a walking picture of static.
Yeah.
She ghosted him and ended up having his kid. And there was this whole spiel that he was trying to. He got a little bit stalkerish, but he was following this girl and realized that, oh shit, that's my kid. Then he tries to make contact with her, and all of a sudden all she remembers is that it's some guy she blocked, so obviously must be a bad guy. And
Yeah.
people that and sex offenders would get especially marked.
Hmm.
And this guy would just drop off in the middle of the street. Everybody just ignores him. A lot of people fear that's what Facebook's meta is about to turn into.
Yeah, I see Facebook's brought out their own PC. Have you seen that?
Well, they're owned by Microsoft. That doesn't surprise me.
But the thing, see Facebook guys, if I could leave Facebook I would, because it's shut. It is shut. It is one. It's just one of the places. I'm actually talking about a different place. If you're watching this and you're new, please go to a place called Parapost. I think that's a good place actually, and it's
Yeah,
actually owned by a friend of ours. It's been on the show by Brian J. Laverty. He actually owns it. It's called Parapost. You can get it in Amazon. No, Amazon. Sorry, you get it on Android Market, iTunes as an app, or you can just go into Google and type in
Parapost.net.
yeah, and sign in that way. I'm seriously considering moving away for that onto that completely and
Mm-hmm.
altogether, because Facebook is a total spy network. Like it's a total spy network. I mean, you think how can I say this? Facebook. What is it like? I mean, honestly, see Facebook. You get some stuff on there, you get some videos on there, and it is addictive. See, once you start watching the videos on Facebook, you ever noticed that? It's like bloody, it's like that. What do you call it? That one that you're on, does it TikTok? And it's highly addictive. You can't get off it. It's like you find yourself in a trance and you're watching stuff. There is a lot of pre-programming in that in Facebook, and I think it's deliberate.
Oh
It
no, it is.
takes you there. Yeah,
It is. They've come out and admit that Facebook fully admits that it causes people to constantly fight one another. They know it's addicting,
yeah,
especially to teenagers, and that's what they want. Because they know
aye,
if you're addicted, you're constantly going to it. You're
right,
constantly going to it. You sell more ad space. You sell more ad space. You make more money.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
literally how it goes.
I mean, it's like the modern vehicles you get now that they've all got built-in Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. So it doesn't matter if you're on the top of a mountain in a wee single road. You can sit in the back of your car and you can watch Facebook and watch people talking about, oh look, this is my dinner, and then 20 minutes later, oh look, I've ate it all and a fork and a knife in the plate. I mean, what is the purpose to that? But what I'm trying to say is about conspiracy theories, guys, and I wanted to talk about this for a while. Actually, it was Dakota actually brought this up. Didn't you, Dakota? The internet is one of the. I would say the internet's it's used for good things. Yes, it's putting our podcast out right now. The internet wouldn't be able to do that. We wouldn't be able to watch the movies on TV, right? But the internet does cause harm too. It does spread a lot of like really fake news. I mean, I've seen posts there that are unbelievable, And I've read the comments in these videos, and they're like, "Oh my god, I believe that 100%." There was one I seen, and it was somewhere in Egypt, right? It was somewhere in the Middle East, and the water had turned red, right? Right. Oh, that's it. The Bible's telling the truth. That's it. The rivers are turning red in the Middle East again, and that's what they put it as. The rivers turn. Do you know what it was? It was a chemical plant making lithium, and it was washing the rocks and it was making it red.
Oh yeah.
But they, instead of putting that in, they put in blood turns red, the Messiah is coming.
There's another example that I can think of. It was, I believe it was down in Argentina. It's happened in more than one place, but Argentina especially, where all of a sudden a statue of Christ looked like it was crying.
Oh, I've seen that
There
one.
was there was water coming out, and people were drinking it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a backed up sewer that caused the water to come on the statue.
Yeah.
It was drinking poo-poo water.
And I have to address this, right? I have to address this. I'm on Facebook and I'm on certain UFO channels, right? Listen about this on Facebook. This is Facebook, no YouTube. Facebook. See the amount of fake UFOs that have been made with digital enhancements. See this CGI, right? And the amount of total absolute mugs out there that believe it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I seen one, and it was a ship in a field, and there was cows all around about it. This was fake. I mean, this thing was clearly fake. You could see how it taken off, and it was fake. You could see where they'd actually brushed it in to the local scenery. That's how bad it was. There must have been about 20,000 comments on this. Oh, this is amazing. It's first contact. The aliens are coming. And then when somebody actually captures something real, it's a wee bit grainy. I you're using that, but a wee bit grainy because it was used by a real camera. It's been put up and then people are like, oh, that's fake, that's CGI. You see what I mean?
Yeah, and it's a lot of psychologists that come out, they try to explain why people act the way they do, especially when it comes to social media. The problem is, and I'm going to use a quote from the Men in Black movies.
Go for
It's from
it.
the first one.
Yeah.
The person is smart. People are dumb. Mob mentality makes people not use their own head, but try to go with the group, with the pack mentality. And it is one of the worst things you can use. Because some of the first people that realize how easy people are to manipulate in those situations are sociopaths, serial killers, company CEOs. And this is all backed, by the way. This is not me spewing off shit on anybody, considering that some people who seem to think that they gotta try to talk shit like me, like I was a bad date or something. I was like, dear God, announce yourself a bit more so any decent man knows to run like fucking hell.
Yeah. Oh God, I just don't know. The internet can be used for good, but the internet has been used for a lot of conspiracy. I would say conspiracy standards. The CIA and all the governments around the world, they use the internet for bad things. They definitely do. They do more harm. I mean, there's channels out there that I just can't believe. There's channels out there that have got 2 million subscribers, 500,000 subscribers, and their videos are all fake. You can tell they're fake, but everybody thinks they're real. I mean, I just don't get that. I mean, on this show, we actually get real people on, real channels on, real people that investigate, and we don't get many views on YouTube. We do go on Spotify and stuff like that, but it's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, there's people in that chat there, like Paranormal World Investigator, great company she's got, great paranormal. Yeah, I mean, there's loads of people there that do paranormal investigations, but they don't get seen. It's all this fake shit that gets, poltergeist house, 15 demons hiding in the bathroom. The guy walks in with a wee torch, and you can see the string pulling up the floating cups and stuff. People think that's real.
Yeah, and it's irritating. And we gotta admit, anybody who's been on a legit case, it gets fucking boring.
Yeah.
Now I would use a number where, say, like out of every 10 houses that allegedly are haunted, one maybe has something, and a lot of people get discouraged because I try to keep a skeptical mindset, because there is a lot of things that happen that if you don't know legitimately don't know what's going on. It's not that you're trying to be fake, it's just that you're not sure what to do. There's a lot of people that get easily confused. And the
Mm-hmm.
human mind is absolutely horrible at associating certain things. Obviously, if you think there's different, you know, knocks on the wall out of nowhere, and the only thing you can think of is ghosts, that's what you're going to assume. When in reality, you might just have a mice problem.
I can. I can. It's. I'm just going to note the Samuel Drew Mole there in the chat. That's my brother, everyone. Yes,
What was
Drew,
the
we're
best?
on Facebook. We're on, what is it, 40 different destinations. We're
Yes, we
on,
don't broadcast all at once. We do the live taping, then we put out a podcast version, then we do like a replay on other channels. But yes, the show does go out to 40 different destinations, and it's still growing, by the way.
yes. I must admit, I'm amazed how it's growing, this channel. I mean, we will get to 1,000 eventually, but you know something, I don't care. You know, we'll get there one day, we'll get there eventually, but at least we're putting out good content. At least we're not putting out like fake content, because there is a lot of that out there. I mean, you know, these channels with like 100, 200,000 subscribers, they're fake. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's only so much. The Demon House, 55 demons live here. They go on, the K2 meter goes up, and then half an hour later they run out screaming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the only thing that's in there is probably all their lime for putting their cups and stuff up on.
I mean, here's another example of that. It's just complete BS. There's this photo that goes around from Google Maps it goes around on social media quite a bit, where a lot of people assume that Google Maps ended up catching a murder.
I
And
didn't know
what it
this.
is these guys are standing on a pier, they're out to a lake, and all of a sudden there's this long streak of red, bright red. Here's the problem. That particular pier is made of redwood. They did just come out of the water. When that particular type of redwood gets a little wet, it gets kind of shiny. Whereas
Yeah,
blood turns kind of brown after a little bit.
yeah.
Basic science, clearly a lot of people
It's,
flunked out of.
oh my god. I mean,
And I'm
it's
American.
ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I mean, it is. It's talking about. I watched that. I watched a YouTube channel the other night. I'm not going to say its name, right? I'm not going to say its name. And I thought, what's this? It's a haunted park, strange things, and they put it like it's the murdered woods kind of thing, right? It was done in London somewhere, right? Terrible murders being committed here. Terrible murders. That's what they put this at, right? So I watched some of this, right, and they were running about screams and stuff. I looked the park up, right. There's been no murders in it, no suicides in it. In fact, I think there was one robbing in it. You know, somebody get robbed. That was it. They'd made that up. Do you know how they had 3,000 people watching the live, donating loads of money?
Oh yeah.
That's all it is. That's all it is. People want to
You
scare.
know, there's a there's the show Ghost Adventures that maybe during the first few seasons they were a little bit more legit, but in
Yeah,
recent years they've been especially bad. There's a location here in my state that they went to. I believe it's out of more so the Pocatello area where they are talking about all these satanic rituals going on here. There's all sorts of negative energy. Now, mind you, one of the area's biggest mental facilities happens to be in this region. So yes,
yeah,
they have that correct. But they're talking about all these satanic pentagrams, and anybody who's actually looks are like, that's fresh paint.
yeah,
They just put that there.
yeah. Yeah, a lot of the Ghost Adventure stuff when it first came out, it was good. It was good. I liked Zach. I liked and Aaron Goodwin and all that. They were brilliant together. Then it all started turning shit. It's all like fake. It is fake. Some of it is fake. I will say that. But there's shows that I watch now that I would say main shows. There is quite a few out there. If you want to watch a good show, watch the Holzer Files. That's a good show. You seen the Holzer Files, Dakota?
Yeah, I've seen
That's
it.
a good one. Watch the Hoser Files. That's good. And then there's that other one with the Aaron in it. With that Aaron Goodwin. What's that? What's that one called again?
Aaron's branched off?
Is it Aaron? What's his name? Kind of branched
You,
off. I'm thinking of somebody
no,
else.
oh, you're talking about Nick.
Nick Groff.
Nick
Sorry,
Groff. Yeah.
Nick Groff. Getting mad. But anyway, Nick Groff's new series. What's that called?
Was he Dead Walker or something like that?
That's quite good. But guys, a lot of this stuff's fake. The ancient aliens, a lot of that's real. The folk on there, a lot of that's real. But you've got to remember, there's people make this stuff to make money, right? Whereas this channel, we try and tell the truth about what's happening in the world, and we don't put out shit. Yeah, I mean, we don't put out fake stuff. And there's actually a few people in the chat in there that have got their own channels. There's Drew's Paranormal Vlog, she's got her own channel. Paranormal World Investigators. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good people on YouTube that are not getting recognised now, and I think that's terrible. Yeah, I mean, and they've got great channels, and they do good work. Strange, what's that message there for Stuart? I'll bring it up. I've seen triangles there, very old technology. That's been kept secret. The truth will be out soon. Third printing homes medias are available in the old technology.
Stuart makes a very good point. 3D printing has been out since like the 70s, but here, the reason why it's a lot more readily available nowadays is because the patent's starting to expire on them. So a lot more people get to get access. That's where a lot of that comes from, and it's very true. You also got to remember, the American CIA were the ones who created the term conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
They came out and admitted that they came up with it. They've lied about the war on drugs in order to target people of color. They associated marijuana with the hippies, so Nixon, I believe it was, could target his political rivals.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of stuff going on that a lot of people don't realize.
There's Stuart again there. Underground tunnels around the world with cities and ETs living underground. I 100% believe that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's meant to be bases underneath the sea for UFOs and stuff like that. Why no under the ground? I mean, I believe it 100% that there is alien life ready here visiting us. But that's the problem. People that put this stuff out, right? Put this stuff out. Real people that put this stuff out don't get seen it recognised. Put the fresh stuff out, get the crap stuff out, the fake stuff out.
Oh yeah.
Just reading some of the chats here.
It's absolutely insane. And that's the thing. People try to say, oh, the government's always manipulating us. No. They realize we manipulate ourselves. We are that easy to fucking trick. We'll do all the major work ourselves, and they're all
Look what's happening now.
Laughing.
Look what's happening right now everywhere around the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to talk about the subject because we don't talk about the subject on here. But look what's happening. All the sheepy mares are all doing what they're told.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what I'm going to say about that. But there you go. So that's
a pretty good show.
It's been a good show tonight, guys. We have a special guest on Saturday night from Iron City Paranormal.
Yes.
So I hope you'll be all popping round.
That's all good, guys. For those of you who listen to the podcast of it, you're going to want to watch the video because they want to share some videos with us.
Yes. They've got some videos of strange encounters of the third kind. Anyway. So, guys, thank you for coming. And remember, if you're listening to the podcast, give us a subscribe, give us a share, give us a like if you want with the video, But catch you all later. And if we don't see you again, have a lovely Christmas, a happy New Year, and catch you on Saturday. Bye-bye.
I'll see you Saturday. Bye-bye.